Hello, I'm Steve. Welcome to the Patio Heat channel, where we provide visual concepts of infrared heating as well as tips for outdoor comfort. Send your request into designs@patioheat.com for your personalized recommendations. Our one-on-one customer support helps you make the best decisions for your applications. We strive to earn your business. Visit our patioheat.com website for sales and more information. Now let's get heating. All right, so here we have this residential patio, and you can see it's covered deck here. Essentially, we have just a light fixture here, and we have a couple of doors, and I have them swinging on the inside. So hopefully that's true, and we don't have to work with that issue at all as far as clearances below the heater itself. So let's go ahead and look at the overall dimensions. Overall dimensions I have here. You can see that I have this from this edge here to the outer edge of the wall here. I have it 8 foot, so I added another 2.5 feet to this section over here, right to the outside edge of this beam. And then we have a total length here of 20 foot 6 inches from this edge to this edge. I have a height of the bottom of the I'll call them rafters here at 11 feet 6 off the finished floor, and I have this section over here at 8 foot 6 off the finished floor, and then also a total length here 10 foot 6. There is a fountain and fireplace, I believe, right here, and we have I just put some basic seating out here. I'm not quite sure how it's actually going to look, but this kind of give you an idea of what the coverage might be like. So all right, let's go ahead and turn that off and look at what type of heaters we might use. Now, we did do another application for this particular client, and so I'm going to try to keep within what they're looking for total. And let's see if I have that here. Turn this off here. And there we go over here. So this would be utilizing 2 of the 4,000 watt SlimLine units. Now the SlimLine units do require a clearance below, or on, I should say, on the back side here of 6 inches above the heater itself. And so that's where I have the heaters 6 inches off of this beam. And another thing just to note that I do have the brackets mounted on the ceiling as opposed to the vertical surface here, and that is for 2 reasons. Number one, if I placed it over here, to have to drop the heater down further because it's actually on a lower slope here, as well as if you mounted it on a vertical surface like this, then the heater can only be mounted out this direction 45 degrees down, and I actually have this at 30 degrees down. So that's another reason why I use a ceiling mount as opposed to a vertical mount like this. The ceiling mount, I should say, the mount itself is suited for ceiling and or the vertical wall or something of that nature. Another thing too, just to note, is that the SlimLine brackets themselves do move down this channel here, so you can line that up in most cases with the existing beams, so that you are it's easy to attach. Now over here you can't mount it on this section over here, which is called the junction box of the heater itself. So you may have to move it over here. You may have to put a beam going across, or a block that goes across here to here, and actually in order to mount that properly. But in any case, I have these equally spaced in the overall distance, I believe, and I did that from this edge over here, so you can see that it's actually not perfectly centered. Oh, I know what it was. I'm sorry. I did this a few days ago, but I saw that the light fixture was here in the image that I was received, so I believed that was the center point of the patio. Now, if this is going to be moved, or you can see this is the center point of the actual windows and doors. If for some reason this would be moved, then you'd probably want to move the heaters over as well. Also, just looking at the clearance below, we are meeting the clearances below just by a fraction of an inch. So that should not be an issue with regards to this at all. Let's go ahead and just look at the distance from this edge of the wall here. If I can grab that properly, I might do it from over here. Let's see if this will work, to this edge of the heater itself. And let's see, we have that at 17 inches essentially. The clearance zone below the heater is 18 inches out and 36 inches down. And you can see again, we are just meeting the clearance. In fact, if you look right there, there's a little notch right here of making contact, so it may have to be pushed in maybe an inch to the right here. But in any case, let's go ahead and look at the distances from each other, and we'll pull this over here. Sorry for the delays on this type of things. I like to have all the information I can for you, and sometimes I don't get it all done before I actually do the video. So let's see what we got here. All right, here we go. So we have these at 9 foot center to center on the units themselves. So if this was the center point, the center of the heater itself would be 4.5 feet. We may, like I said before, have to move this one over to the left 1 inch, and this one here might have to be moved over 1 inch if you really wanted to make that uniform looking. In any case, you can see that the footprint of heat for these two units, it would be fairly decent. I think this is, you know, almost not 100% in the array, but in most cases this is a Southern California application, so I think this would be fairly decent for the majority of times. However, if you really wanted to heat up the whole entire space, then you might want to add 2 additional units. And I did the same thing over here, 6 inches, 6 inches, mounted in the same position here. And that would give you a lot of overlapping rays. So this would make that extremely comfortable and very cool times. Now obviously over here we're not really in that ray, so if you were sitting outside this edge here, we're not really heating up this 2 feet section over here like we are over here. Again, that's because I have that center point right there. So, you know, obviously you would have to either, you know, move these chairs in a little bit. Let's just say we'll go with 24 inches here. Now you're in that ray. Or you can, like I said, change this setup so that the center point is here as opposed to off the light fixture here or off of this beam here, but in the center point of the actual beam here. And then that, you know, that ray would be another foot over to the left essentially. But this would make it a, you know, just about a perfect application here for all times. I would use a control on this, or I should say this would be zone 2 and this would be zone 1 for this particular application. However, going back just to see what that would look like with just the 2, I think this would be very comfortable a lot of the time during the year here in Southern California. So, all right, well, I hope this has helped. If you're looking for some assistance with your outdoor heating application and you would like us to review your plan, send your information into designs@patioheat.com. I'm Steve. Please tap that like button if you find this video useful. We don't advertise, we're not monetize. YouTube does not support us in any way unless we receive a thumbs up from our viewers, and we truly appreciate you doing that. Thank you so much. Have an excellent day.